Hi, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns, and you're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role-playing games with friends. This is part of Star Wars Saturdays, so named because on Saturdays I run games set in Star Wars, except none of them are officially licensed RPGs for Star Wars. We are in the third session of Rust Hulks. Rust Hulks is this very cool Powered by the Apocalypse game about a freighter crew trying to keep things going. So it's got a little space trucker vibe going on. And the game was originally written with the idea that it was a far future Earth and our solar system type deal. So I've reskinned it for Star Wars and it's a real good fit. In our last session, the folks of the Regal Huntress left Arda 2, which is located in the middle of an Imperial remnant, and are headed on a mission, a fetch mission, going to a place called Sereno, which is a planet far away, 2 spans away. And the target is to fetch someone and some tech in Carania City, the capital of Sereno, that world, which is located, it's the capital of this Imperial remnant. Warlord Zinj, it's where he grew up, and you're headed there, friends, on a rebel mission. Very dangerous. Before we get around to our crew, let me remind folks we do have safety tools. We have lines and veils. Lines are things we don't want in this game at all. And we have a line. We're not going to cross that line. We have veils, which are things that we're okay if it exists, but we don't want to shine a spotlight on it. So we'll cut away, do a star wipe away, or fade to black. And then the last one is ask first, which means that we're okay if it we may be okay. It's situational. Ask first means check in with us as players about your idea before you drop it into the fiction and force us to react to it. Because situationally, it could be cool, or it could be a thing where we say, can you try it a different way? We also have the open door. Any player can leave the game for any length of time. You're grown-ups. If you need to go take care of a real life thing, please go do that thing. It's all good. If you get a chance to say, I'll be back in X, do so. But if you've got to go, just go. It's all good. And then the last one is X card. That is our most important safety tool because it's a blunt instrument. If anything that you didn't realize we would get into bothers you, causes you to stop having fun, please X card it. And don't be afraid to X card. It's not going to be a block on our fun. There was a moment recently in a game where I was like, a few minutes later, kind of wish I'd X carded that thing. It really changed the tone of this entire setting. You can still do that. Don't feel like just because we've played a little bit with X thing introduced, or Y thing introduced, I can't say X to X, but Y thing introduced, don't feel like you're stuck, right? We can retcon, we can work our way out of it. It's okay, so please do X card for your safety. With all of that out of the way, let us go around the horn and get to know our crew. I want to start from the right-hand side of the character keeper with our wonderful player. Will, if you could introduce yourself and tell us about your character.
Hi, I'm Will, pronouns he, him, nothing to plug at all. And my character is Inez. Inez is the runner, the scoundrel, the rogue, a former Hook Cartel crime boss on 1313 who featured in a series of Cartel, probably one of the best pieces of RPG, actual play that you'll ever see on the internet if you go look it up. And yeah, she's out on the run trying to keep low, but also, still has a bit of a chip on her shoulder and doesn't like being told what to do too much, as DMAC, her friend, found earlier. But we're all in a sort of mutually assured destruction friendship at the moment, I think. So yeah, that's Inez. Oh, yes. And yeah, one thing I wanted to just say while I remember is I think there's a move missing from the captain's moves, Rich, which you can pick up after we've done the introductions, but I just wanted to bring that up.
Yes. If you could point me to that. I don't know how I missed it, but I will definitely
Yeah, I'll pop it in the
Alpha
chat, and
dog,
then I'll let the rest of them carry on.
reputation, get a job, get paid, fly a span. Okay, cool. Thank you for that. I appreciate it, Will. So heading from right to left, which means Josh, you're up.
Yeah, of course. Hi, I'm Josh, he, him, his. And I am playing Tufin Bendy Bendo. Bendy is a Thorian. He is the junker of the crew. He's very talented at scrapping things and putting stuff together. You know, he's not the most personable guy, right? But he's a useful friend to have around. Is Bendy.
Fantastic. All right, next up is Cisco.
Hello there. I am playing Talon Gendro. He is equal parts Steven Spielberg, Tom Cruise in Top Gun, and Boomy from The Legend of Korra. He is the pilot of the ship and always seemingly has trouble finding him, undeservedly, of course. However, he lives his life by the famous Hatties motto, Hakuno Matateo, which means, hey, don't worry about it.
Awesome. It took me a minute to recompose myself after that. That is great. And last but not least is the author of Against the Dark Conspiracy, a new PDF that is coming soon. Just came out to backers, folks who are wise enough to pick it up in Zine Quest. None other than Alan.
Thanks for the plug, Rich. My name is Alan. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing DMAC Oville, also he, him pronouns. This is the Envoy playbook, so he is the crew's face, inverted commas. And yeah, there is increasing tension with Inez. Though the more I think about it, the relationship with Bendy Bendo is actually the only choking one on my sheet. So we must try to find some way to represent that, it occurs to me. Yes, and reputation is down the bottom of my sheet, though it's not on the reference sheet.
Thank you. I am currently, I have copy pasted it from where I put it underneath the captain and sticking it into the bucket of moves. So many moves, and I missed a pretty darn important one. All right. We had talked before starting the recording that 2 of 4 pieces of feedback and wishes were space battle and space threat. So please remember this. It's not my fault. All right, let's do a quick reminder of things. You guys had been sent by Major Leda Mothma, daughter of Mon Mothma, on a fetch mission. And the idea behind that fetch mission, hi, P and Zelen, you're not the person I wanted to see, is that we're going to be traveling from Arda across the Gordian Reach to Sereno, the capital of Zinja's empire. And just to give a little bit more detail, because I was a bit vague, and there is a piece of information or a couple rumors that Talon has earned as well. So I'll get to that in just a moment, just highlighting that exists. There is a tech whose handle is Whisper. That tech is in Karania City, has kind of formed up a small rebel band, and the hope is that Leda Mothma wants you guys to fetch Whisper and Whisper's tech to bring them back to Arda 2 and kind of set up a more official relationship between the groups. So that is the mission that you guys have been sent on. It's a 2-span. We agreed in last session that crossing the Gordian Reach is a pair of spans. you have been fueled up. That was part of the overall pay. The idea is that you're going to make 6 creds if you used exactly the amount of supplies and fuel that you'd need to just get there and get back. You of course have the option of eating some of those creds by burning more fuel, giving yourself bonuses to the fly a span move. But that is where we are. I'd like to kind of lead off on that. So yeah, let's do
Real quick,
that.
do we have a picture on Whisper?
You do. If you go to Karania City. Oh, actually, not Karania City. Let me see if I've stuck them in the NPCs and places. You do not have a picture for Whisper. You know that Whisper is affiliated with a gang known as the Razor Girls.
Okay.
And I'll get that picture, the Razor Girls stuff over to you guys.
I was gonna
Move that over.
pitch you. We had said that we had the Spiner, the porcupine race. We had a co-pilot at some point.
Yes.
Could we have Whisper be that that ex-co-pilot of this ship?
Oh, no.
If not, that's okay.
I've got a little bit of history on Whisper. They've never left the planet, so
Okay.
that would be cute. But if you, yeah, that was a cool pitch. But I'm sorry, I would decline. Sorry.
You're fine.
And the information you've given us on Karania City, I'm assuming that's in our computer library data.
Yes, this is information that you have access to. And yeah, all of the megacorps, city locations, gangs, and there's even a map now. I made this map. Trust me when I say finding futuristic or cyberpunk city maps is hard on the internet. It is not easy. But I liked that one, so I hacked it up a little bit. But yes, you guys know this information about Karania City. The megacorps are very public. The city locations is easily grabbed from a guidebook, and then the information on the gangs is likely something that you could find out with just a little bit of searching. Does that make sense? Seem fair? Cool. Awesome. So with all of that out of the way, we now get to talk about our rumors. There are 2 rumors, Talon and Bendy, that you got from your move in our ever-growing bucket of moves, the Enjoy the Show soldiers. Here are the 2. The first one is that, oh, by the way, I also moved in a tab. It's to the right for Whisper Base. So you now have pictures for the folks. You hear this one from Second Lieutenant Mila Charcourt. She tells you in a whisper, after imbibing a great deal of synth alcohol, that she's heard. She's a comms officer. She's heard on the comms whispers of Darth Vader's daughter is running around in Zinja's empire. She's called Mora Vader. And the imps are terrified of her. And the other rumor that you hear is from a guy who's a little twitchy. He calls himself Ardan. And he tells y'all, you can't tell nobody, but there's a Star Destroyer flying around. It's got a bunch of New Republic folks on it. Yeah, bunch of spies all kind of running the thing. So I'll give you a code word. Peace trees. If there's ever a Star Destroyer that throws on a tractor beam, you slip in peace trees. Just might be them. Get you out scot-free. I mean, you'll owe them. Don't you ever reveal their, spy mission and all. But you guys seem like good folk, and you're headed all the way to Karania City. You're probably going to run into some trouble. So Don't say nobody ever gave you nothing.
And out of character, is that peace tree?
Peach
Oh,
trees.
peach trees. Got it.
The name of the block in the epic movie Dread.
Why, yes, it is exactly that. Know my
Just read that.
sources. You know me too well.
Ah, man, no, you just ring all of the right ones for me, Rich. Star Wars and just Dread. There we go.
It's a hell of a combo. No, I will cop to. I was just looking at the Metroplex 13 stuff, and Block 13 is so Dread. It's just crazy. And it just, I was like, hey, I'm gonna tip a little Easter egg for Dread. But you got me well. It's like running mysteries for my wife. She guesses within like 10 seconds because I just show my hand. She knows me so well. That's why I don't like running mysteries for her. She loves mysteries. It's a conundrum. So those are your rumors. More Vader, and there's a spy team on a Star Destroyer somewhere in the territory of Zinja's empire. Those okay? Cool rumors. All right, rock on. We have got to fly a span. And that is, of course, in the wheelhouse of your jockey. So jockey. It's going to, remember that it is flying a span costs fuel and a supplies. And you get a +1 on the roll because you have to burn those both to do the thing.
Okay. I don't have the dice roller pulled up, so I'll ask Google.
Oh,
to roll.
if you look up in chat, it's the second
Yep,
chat.
there it is.
Yep, I got you.
Yeah, you do. Thank you. Okay. 2d6 +1.
Yep, and okay, so you're just gonna roll it straight up. You're not spending any more fuel or anything. Okay, cool.
All right, we rolled a 7.
You rolled a 7. All right, on a 7 with the fly a span moves. I switch back over. Okay. On a 7 to 9, choose 2, which can repeat. This is on row 33, column E. You encounter an uncertain ship or an occupied hulk. Every crew member chooses 1 chain to tighten. You encounter a spaceborne hazard or danger. Thank you for rolling the 7 to 9. It seems that the mechanics are going to force us to deal with a space threat or a space battle.
Indeed.
Seems like it. I mean, you could go with Titans. Titan, it's all good. You can Titan.
No, we asked for danger. Let's face some danger here.
Okay, so are you choosing uncertain ship or occupied hulk or encounter a spaceborne hazard or danger?
Let's face another ship. That seems more interesting.
Okay, so uncertain ship or occupied hulk. That is awesome. You guys are traveling across the, sorry, I want to make sure I say it right, Gordian Reach. And the Gordian Reach is a long, very, very wide sector that has within it a very famous planet, Yavin. I'm always fascinated by the fact that Zinj took over where Yavin is. You'd think that the rebels could have, like, I don't know, but hey, Zinj is that kind of guy. He's just good at this stuff. You're traveling across the Gordian Reach, which is in the outer rim. It's named for an old hyperlane that had run through the region. As you're passing by a nebula known as the Royal in hyperspace, you get a notification, Talon, that there is a old distress beacon signaling, and per protocols, P14A wants to drop you out of hyperspace. What do you do?
Captain, you're gonna want to look at this.
What do we got, Talon?
Seems like we got a distress signal. We got people in trouble. And our new friend inside the ship wants to drop us out of hyperspace. I can override that, but just thought I'd run it by you.
How close to Yavin are we? If we drop,
Oh, you could reach Yavin in a couple of hours if you wanted to. Very
I'm just
close.
trying to work out: is it likely to be in orbit around Yavin, or is it in deep space somewhere?
If it were in orbit around Yavin, it's probably broken orbit. Does that make sense?
I don't think we have an option, Talon.
Good. I'm always up for helping people. All right, everyone. We're going to drop out of hyperspace. That is completely normal. I will allow our new friend inside the ship to drop us out.
Thank you very much, Talon.
Sounds good. I think you know what you're doing.
The ship drops out of hyperspace. There's that moment before the sublight engines kick in, and I imagine Inez, Democ, like, I don't know, Democ, are you looking out of your shuttle windows? Are you coming up to the
Oh, I think I
cockpit?
come up to the bridge.
Nice. That's right. This ship does have a bridge. It's big enough to where
Yeah.
you guys can make. What about Inez?
I think Inez has been, you know what, sat in the co-pilot seat, staring out of the window, filing her nails with a knife the whole time, and is just looks up at DMAC and nods and says, "More marks. I mean, more innocent people to save. Yes."
Nice. Bendy, where do we see you as we spin into this episode?
Yeah, Bendy's actually in the lounge.
Nice.
He's at the vending machine, getting some food. When the hyperspace drop happens, and he sort of stumbles a little bit, like if you hit a jolt on the subway.
Nice. Oh, and I'd love that we get another like bit of the various vending machines. What's the vending item that Bendy has purchased? Slightly overpriced thing.
Like a juice pack.
Juice pack. Nice. Got squeeze box juice pack.
Yeah, like a little
Nice.
Capri Sun.
Oh, totally. It's made for 0G. It even
Yeah.
says on it, like in OPEC, for 0G environments. Nice. So the three of you, Democ, Inez, and Talon, get a view of a obviously old Republic class freighter that you can see that it's been floating for a while adrift. You do not catch, like, there are no life signs aboard, just like off the top, no life signs aboard. Does look like it was cracked open at some point and left to float. What do you do?
So the distress signal seems to be like left over, essentially.
Seems like it. Like when you catch it, you dial it in a little bit, it's a bit scrambled. And even though you don't see engines firing, you don't see any lights on the ship, it's coming from the ship.
Wait, I'd like to get a read on this. Something is wrong here. I have a bad feeling about this.
Nice. You want to analyze something?
Yeah, and sorry, I'm getting confused with other games with ships in, where you get to, like, Hyperspace D6, for example, where you get to add like the sensors to your role, but in this case you don't do. Systems is just like security essentially. So it's plus guts, I think, right?
I think so. Let me double check. I had it. It is.
Oof. Well, I go up a
brain.
level.
You're rolling plus brain, actually, not guts, because
Well,
you're analyzing with your brain.
That's true. No, it's get a read.
Oh, I thought you were trying to analyze something. Okay, you want to get a read.
Yeah.
That's totally fine.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because either way, I have missed. Because mine was more along the lines of what would Inez do with the distress?
Sure, absolutely.
You know?
That makes sense to me. That's perfectly fine.
But you know, her instincts fail.
Do you want to call for some help? Is this a role you don't like?
I mean, I'd go up a level, which is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do I want the XP or do I want to call for help? Because calling for help has its other benefits as well, right? Like
it does.
Choose one consequence.
Alpha dog.
Well, I have to
When
actually
one
call
of the
for
crew
help.
misses a roll, you can force someone else to help them, whether
Okay.
they call for help or not.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You're gonna do it, huh? All right.
I'm not seeing anything on the scopes.
I have to hang on. Choose another crew member to help. That has to be Talan, I think, given the geography where we are. On a roll,
you are going to have to.
Choose another. Oh, go on.
It is going to have to increase by a whole 3 points because it's actually a 4 because I rolled the wrong stat. No, it's a 5. Sorry, it's a 5. It's going to be two consequences.
Yeah.
2 consequences is going to need to be taken.
Not necessarily. Remember, we add the difference between the two. If it's slacker, and we do the difference between the two. So
but we have a
choking
chain.
We do.
Talan and I.
C'est la vie. I'm finding myself getting too focused on the mechanics and not enough on narrative.
Yeah.
So Talan, help her. I roll plus spine.
Yes, you do.
Which is 1.
Okay, so I help first and then roll. Oh no.
No, I have to roll spine.
Okay.
As if I'm reading the move right.
Yes. You have to roll spine that mechanically affects how Talon and your relationship are impacted by you bossing them around.
That's 6 + 1 is 7 on 7 to 9. After they've helped, your chain with the forced crew member tightens. So I will tighten my chain now so I don't forget.
Yes, and that tightening is, remember, that's a mutual relationship. So it goes from slack to taut.
Yeah.
For Talon and DMAC. There's just something about the way
approach
DMAC
here is more Talon. Why didn't you do that as soon as we dropped out?
Whoa! I'm not a censor's here.
Later. Just do it, okay?
Whoa, Inez, you're looking into the cadmium caesium casing there. The scanning controls are here, and Talon is gonna lift
I'd rather have you not say that I'm just looking at a piece of plastic. I'd rather not be as thick as that.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
what
know.
What consequence do you want to take for it? I think is the major one.
Oh, okay. What are my options?
You're gonna have to take 2.
Subtract the higher the 2 heats between the crew members to the roll being helped. Holy crap, is that true? Okay. So the higher the 2 heats between Talon and it looks like you're both at 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think we're equal.
Yes, you're equal.
I'd like to interpret that as none gets subtracted because we're of
That's
equal
fine.
mind.
Otherwise, nobody's ever going to help. So yeah, we'll say that we're just doing. You need. This is a 5, so there are going to be 2 consequences for Talon's help if you want to push it to a 7. Now, Cisco, let me remind you, Inez has this sneaky thing where you're going to eat those consequences. So maybe you don't want to push her all the way to a 10.
Yeah, let's say that I don't push her all the way to a 10.
Okay.
I'm gonna push her to a 7. That's definitely the plan. Yeah.
Good call. You were forced to do that. And Inez, let's double check this move. So you've got Blackhearted. When you call for help or go to help another crew member, the other crew member always suffers the consequences regardless of your chain. So I think that based on that, I think the person choosing the consequences is the helper, as it would normally be in a choking relationship. It just kind of doubles back, which means, Talon, you get to choose the 2 consequences. Do you have the list there under peripheral moves? Do you see it? It starts on row 6, goes down to row 10. So a crew member takes harm, room takes harm, something important breaks, crew member heats their chain with another, the chain between the 2 crew members tightens.
Isn't this the bit at the bottom? If you and the helping crew member have a choking chain.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I because of
Oh,
my
sorry,
move,
no,
I
that's-
don't
that's-
suffer any of them. Basically,
Sorry, yeah, okay.
It's okay. We're
Yeah.
still learning it. It is the most complex part of the game. But yeah, it's there are 2 consequences that Cisco's going to choose per how choking would go that would be pushed onto Inez if Inez didn't have this sneaky move that flips it back to Talon.
Yeah, I think crew member's going to take 1 harm. I'm going to end up eating that anyway. And then something important breaks and must be repaired. Bendy, we're bringing you into the scene, whether you want it or not.
Nice. Okay. So, Inez, do you have an idea on how Talon ends up taking a little bit of harm here?
I think it's that I'm peering through that. I'm looking over the scope and I'm pressing something, and then Talon is, oh no, it's this. Hits it and slams it back into place, right? But it sparks, and you have to kick it like a broken TV kind of thing. But that's the 1 harm. Inez nimbly dodges aside from the spark, and yeah, I don't know what something important breaks would be though.
Oh yeah, that's fine. I've got that one. That's cool. I think what happens is the 2 of you are taking a look. Yeah, let's tease this out just a little bit. Let's go ahead. You've got a 7 now.
Mm-hmm.
So with get a read, you get a question. You get to hold 1.
On the get a read, well, what's hidden, obscured, or unclear here? Is there anything hiding beyond our wrecked old Republic ship with the distress beacon? Is there anything more that could be gleaned from, a deeper sensor scan or something,
Is this a tethered goat?
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly, yes.
Hidden, obscured, or unclear. From your time on Coruscant, Inez, you took shipment from a variety of places. You were the crime lord, you were the drug lord. And over at Sheev Landing, or was it Sheev Port?
Spaceport, yeah.
Sheev Spaceport.
Yeah, named after
13,
the Emperor,
13.
of course.
Yes, still named after the Emperor. They didn't change the name there. Sheev Port, some of the supplies that you received were salvaged goods. And the rumor when you asked, because as you often asked, you like to be in control of things, is that there was a salvage crew of droids of Old Republic. Not Old Republic, but basically Clone Wars era droids.
Like the Confederates surplus. Yeah.
Part of the Confeds. And the fact that there are no life signs, but a distress signal kind of clues you in that there are probably beings aboard here, but it feels like a trap.
Oh, I have a suggestion, Captain Ovell. We have this lovely ion cannon on board the ship. It may destroy some of the more sensitive electronics, but we hit this thing over and over again with the ion cannon. We may be able to deactivate any droids on board.
So what exactly do you think the threat is then?
I think that possibly this Old Republic ship is filled with old Clone War era droids. And as soon as we step on board, they will activate Or they are possibly already activated. From what I am told, they were not very clever. But some of them were particularly lethal, and I have seen how lethal droid cars can be firsthand.
Okay. Precautionary approach.
And if there are any life forms on board that we are not missing, any real people in distress, they will not be harmed by the ion cannon as long as we are quick to get back on board.
So how long do we think this iron cannon will take out? Is this, do we need to have somebody ready to go to cross?
I think it's gonna take them out for a few minutes. You probably need to have somebody in vac suits ready to go across to scrape that hulk.
We may even need to take the shuttle across, I think. I'll roll you persuade if you need it, Alan. Should I roll persuade?
Yeah, I think I'm going to need persuasion if this
put
is
your
potentially dangerous. You want me to put the shuttle in the line of fire?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
well,
You fast
Otherwise,
talk.
you're volunteering to be in one of those spacesuits, right?
Roll plus face for a fast talk here on the
An
captain.
8.
8. Okay.
8.
Now, so when it's a PC crew member on a 7 to 9, you choose one. So you can do the carrot or the stick.
No, I mean, I'm going to go with a carrot because I know Alan, he'll always choose a stick if I give him the choice. So yeah, you get to mark experience if you go along with this plan.
I think it's a sensible plan.
I like to imagine the D-Max is more like, we're going to have to go, just makes it sound like it was his idea to do it.
That feel like a DMAC reaction?
Yeah, sadly.
Sweet. So I guess you guys are hoping to scrape this Hulk. Does that mean you've got Bendy suiting up in the ill-fitting vac suit?
I assumed that Inez and Tufan would help scrape it. Cisco stays here because the danger is that we don't have somebody on board the ship, and I'll pilot the shuttle.
And it has a getaway car move as well, which is
He
perfect.
does.
Yeah.
Which we will allow to work here.
Well, it can be docked on the ship, right?
Yeah,
or it can be outside. We jump out of an airlock and it's just outside to catch us or something, right? Like,
Yeah,
but it's going to be fine.
One of those long things and end up hanging on the bottom of something, and there he is.
Cool. So just so I'm clear, I want to make sure I'm following. The plan is that you're going to be taking the shuttle over to this Hulk, and everyone is going. Sorry. My brain keeps reading from left to right. Talon is piloting the shuttle. Everybody else is going.
No. Talon's going to stay on the Regal
Okay, that's the part where I thought. So I was like,
getaway,
was Talon using the getaway driver with the shuttle? But Talon is on the. Okay, good.
I have a feeling we may need a getaway driver for the shuttle.
Now, at what point are you firing the ion cannon? Are you trying to time it to where Talon's firing at the Old Republic Clone Wars era Hulk as the shuttle is coming in, like so that you are coming right on the scene as the ion cannon is doing its good work?
Yeah, I think that
sounds awesome. I love that. Perfectly timed. Sweet. So Cisco, you bring up the targeting system, which of course is several like red dots in the old kind of ASCII Atari level technology. You've got the sighting computer there and the guns. And Bendy and Inez are both in vac suits ready to go. D-Monk, you're piloting the shuttle over. Cisco, you pull the trigger and it turns out that something is broken. As you hear the engine kind of prime up for the ion cannon, nothing comes out. Like you see a weep, 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 a warning pop up there. And I think that is probably about the time that P14A says,
Talon, it appears that the ion cannon is not operational.
Well, thanks,
And of
4A.
course, that is the time when a cross from the shuttle comes. Okay, Talon, in your own time.
Yeah, we've got difficulties here.
What do you mean difficulties?
Well, do you remember when we tried to scan earlier and all the sparks came out? I think we're about to eat the sparks right now.
That's when the ship starts to move. You see a turret that flips and aims at you guys and fires out a towing cable, kind of like a towing cable with a harpoon at the end, which slams into the side of the shuttle, not far from you guys. And you hear the crunch of metal. The shuttle's shot to the side. From the TV view, I think it's a thing where Inez and Bindi, like you're both, the actors kind of move to the side in a Star Trek fashion, and you feel this ship is like being pulled towards you, towards the old Hulk, the Clone Wars era broken ship. What is it that you do, Dimok, being the pilot?
Any chance I can pull a stunt to try and get us free?
There's always a chance you can try to pull a stunt for sure. Do you want to?
Yeah, so what I'm imagining is as we hear it hit, what I want to try to do is to orientate the shuttle so it's at 90 degrees to the harpoon, in the hope that I can then pull it out.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, that feels right to me. I think that is acting fast to avoid danger.
Okay.
Right? So let's have you roll plus gut.
2d6 plus 1. That is 7 plus 1 is 8.
All right.
On sometime you make it work, but the MC imposes one of the following.
So for harm in the rush to make it in time, something you're using breaks and must be repaired. You face a tough choice, a hard bargain, or an ugly outcome. Okay. So I think what you do is you flip around at a 90-degree angle, angling away. You are able to pull this thing free from its mooring. In the doing, one of the two engines on your shuttle winks out. You've burned a lot of the fuel, and that evidently that engine needed some maintenance work that didn't happen, or maybe it was just bad happenstance. Bad happenstance, I don't know. But yeah, that engine goes out. You pull the cannon from its mooring. As you're doing that, Inez and Bindi, you guys see that there are a number of these not little, but like human-sized droids that angle out and jump from the ship onto the cannon and the cable. A couple of them miss. And yeah, that's the plan, is they're going to start crawling along the cable.
Okay, I have something I'd like to roll.
Yeah, Talon, what do you want to do?
I was actually in occupied Ryloth, so I scream into the comms. I'm like, "We've got clankers!" And I'm definitely experiencing a moment of tension and/or strain. So I'd like to get a read here.
Okay, why don't you get a read? Let's go ahead and have you roll plus gut.
Let us. Oh, a 9.
Ooh, a 9. You get a whole one.
Okay. What is the best way to detach this cable from the shuttle? And I have an idea if I could pitch you.
Oh, what's your idea? You're just trying to get a +1 on your idea?
I am trying to get a +1 on my idea. I think that if I can flip the entire Hulk around and
you want to flip the Huntress, okay.
Flip the Huntress and have her rear face this cable and these clankers, and we're gonna burn the engine and burn this cable and these droids right off.
Wow, that is gutsy. I think that the best way you could do that is flipping the Huntress around, going full burn on your sublight engines and just frying those clankers sounds great. And just so I'm imagining these are the like yellowy B1 droids, the little rinky-dink guys that were the cannon fodder for the Clone Wars.
Sounds good. We're gonna go. All right, stay away from that cable. I'm about to do an Antilles Achilles. All right.
I'm imagining as they all clamber up the thing, if you could hear outside, right? It's Star Wars, so you can hear space anyways.
course you can,
You can just hear Roger, 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 Roger.
Just to be clear, the cable's still attached to us. We tore it out of the cannon, didn't we? So we're trailing.
Yes, you're trailing the cable. Thank you for asking that clarifying question. Yeah, the harpoon is stuck in your ship. There's a long, very thick cable, and they are climbing along it, screaming to each other, Roger, Roger, and along the lines of
And I think I'm shouting at Bendy to get the other engine online. I need the other engine now.
Yeah, Bendy is panicking a little bit. Bendy has left the cockpit of the shuttle where he was sort of sitting when he thought everything was going good, and he's now in the engine room. There's like a fuse box that controls the power distribution of the ship, and he's shutting off like the lights in the ship suddenly just shut off as he like redistributes all the power, and he's doing his best.
awesome. So do you have a junker related move for fixing this? I don't see it, but I want to make sure.
Sort of. Bendy is he is a mass producer of repairs at this point. So when I spend one scrap, I just get to repair something perfectly.
Oh, a repair.
According to the repair something move, I believe.
Oh yeah, you have to. It always works until it doesn't. So you can choose to have someone else's thing break instead. Is that what you're saying, or is there a different move that you're engaging? Sorry.
So I have a move called mass production, which means when you repair something, you can spend 1 credit in scrap and automatically count as having rolled a 10+.
So you're spending 1 credit in scrap.
Yeah. So when DMAC comes into the engine room, he might be a little bit confused as to what's happened here. It's messy, but Bendy has managed to sort of like build another catalyzer onto the side of the engine, and just like weld it on there to like restart the engine function.
It's just as well DMAC never goes into the engine room.
Yeah. So it's rough. I think that when the engine starts back up, DMAC, when he puts his foot on the pedal, it's going to go just like a hair faster than you think it will. And he's going to be like, Jesus, But yes. Bendy does it. He's panicking, he's throwing stuff, the lights go out, the lights come back on, and there's a big glow from the engine room now again. And he comes out, he wipes his forehead, he says, I think it's good.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's great. That's messed up. Sweet. So the second engine comes online. You're headed back towards the Huntress, DMAC. You're noticing that the Huntress is like spinning around. And
what are you doing, Talon? Why don't you dare leave? Don't you dare leave?
And Bendy goes, he's leaving? And he starts hyperventilating.
Now you know why he has so many former jobs. Yes.
Worry not. And I scream at Foray, give me manual control, full power to thrusters. All right, you all just get ready to leave. As soon as you'll know when it's time to leave.
What are you doing?
If I tell you, you're not gonna like it. Just get ready to leave.
And then he does it.
Of course, that's exactly when he does it.
Yep. All right. So I imagine I'm pulling a stunt here.
Yes, that feels stunty.
Achilles. All right. And I'm rolling +1 because I scanned before I did the thing. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I rolled an 11. Sweet.
Wow, that plus
was-
one definitely paid off.
I was rolling +4, so I was really hoping I was not gonna fail.
You did not. Sweet. So with that stunt and the 11, what's it say on 11 for the stunt? Just you do it? Is there
I think you
another
do it
binning
just
you get?
fine.
You do it just
Yeah.
fine. Awesome.
I think there's a moment where like I'm bringing the big girl around and D-Max in the shuttle, and like the Huntress just passed dangerously close, and like D-Mac is maybe looking right out the front, right? And we see the Huntress come across and not hit the shuttle. And then yeah, man, these things just blow hot. And the clankers, the clankers go, "There's no fire in space, no!" And then, they all get
Looks like
blown
it's
out.
going to get hot in here. Oh no!
And I think maybe somebody screams like, "Okay, they're all off," and it's like, they're not all off yet. And then I burn this thing until like the cable itself melts.
Oh yeah. And it like flies off into space, and you see a bunch of old B1 droids just broken and the like. And then DMOC, you're able to pull the shuttle with both engines up and running. You can get her out of here, back to the Huntress.
I knew it was a bad idea to stop. Why did you convince me to stop, Inez?
I didn't say anything, D-Mac. It was Talan. Talan who said it was all so wonderful. We
No,
must
I saw
help
the
these
look on your
people.
face.
I just want to point out the comms are still on. I can hear you. Okay.
I mean, well, does the ship have, the Republic ship doesn't have power, yes? Engine power?
That's when you see the engines start to fire up on this ship.
Cool.
Of
Well, I
course.
think this is time to slam the shuttle like hard into the bay and then sprint for the gunnery turret to try and lay down some covering fire with that missile launcher we have on the back.
That sounds fun. I think someone wants to get in a fight, I
Mhm.
believe. Yeah, when Puda hits the fin and you get in a fight with something. If that's interesting. If it's a person rolls spine, this is an oddly written move. Did I not copy all of that? It's just okay. If the person rolls spine, if the ship pick a room to target, then roll spine. Okay.
So I guess you have to choose a specific target on a ship as opposed to like, because they have rooms to hit basically. Whether or not you've actually given the ship rooms is obviously a different story, right? But I'm going to shoot their engines.
Cool.
Um,
Oh yeah, I really misorganized this move. That's why it looks so weird. Okay, so
well,
I'm gonna fix
the
that.
missiles fire off,
Uh-oh.
and then that's when one of those they hit some of those floating droids that act as a sort of chaff in between us and the ship. Because I rolled a 6.
Oh, nice.
So I
You're not
think
gonna
the
call in some
missiles.
help?
No, because I want to take the miss so I can mark experience.
Captain,
Whether or
are you
not
gonna allow
D-Mac
that
wants
to
to do
happen?
Alpha Dog.
Will you not steer more carefully?
Shit. Well, are you going to roll spine again, Alan? No?
Okay, so
I
you're
finally
not,
get
you're
to
just,
mark it.
it's just color. You're eating the miss. That sounds
Yes.
delightful. Sweet. So you target the ship and fire, but this thing's more heavily armored than you thought, and they inflict harm on a room of the MC's choice. Nice. Sweet. So this means, let's take a look at our lovely, and as a reminder, on the tab for the Regal Huntress, there's a link to the ship drawing, which is where I'm going to take a look. And I think they're going to go after your guns. Yeah, so they're gonna harm your guns. That just makes sense to me. I mean, harming your engines makes even more sense. So
They
no,
don't
they're gonna
know.
harm your engine. They feel like they have enough to withstand shots from the guns. So yeah, they're gonna harm your engine. So the harm for was the helm fixed from that +1 harm from before? I thought we'd talked about that, but I see it here marked on the ship.
That's not
harm, that's
not
temporary.
harm because
Okay.
it's weirdly labeled. That is it has it is effectively 2 helm, I think.
Yeah, sorry, that's my fault. I meant to move the harm across and then have mod where harm is.
Okay.
Because Bendy modified the helm.
Yeah.
So until it takes damage, it has +1.
Got it.
They've
The
just
helm
made it-
is not taking damage. The engine is going to take damage here. So let's take a look. Engine. Yeah, you guys are gonna have. There is a cool outrun or overtake something, but you are taking a harm, and let's just double check that on get in a fight. On a miss, they inflict harm on a room, the MC's choice. Okay, so they're inflicting harm. They're going to be doing 2 harm to your engines. It has a 4 harm clock, so that is not good. Yeah, the ship is rocked as this thing unleashes from it has basically 1 main cannon that comes online and hits you right in the part that you showed, right, Talon? Because you kind of twisted around right into there. So there's one B1 for they're making it easy for me. Go ahead and fire. Roger. And it hits the engine, and I think it's not good, right? That is a thing that's going to rock you guys.
Bendy, get back
Captain-
there and patch it.
Yeah, Bendy is not listening to you right now. Right now, he's actually pulling the harpoon out of the side of the shuttle still.
Where's Bendy? Where's Bendy?
And I fail. So the harpoon, I get it out, but it's scrap. It's just metal. So Bendy has welded like a plate over the harpoon hole when he hears you yelling like, "Where's Bendy? Where's Bendy?" And he comes out. What's going on? I was working on the shuttle.
We have an engine problem. Go fix it. Patch it now. We need it now.
Yeah, and Bendy's eyes widen, and he sets off for the engine.
Inez, go with him in case he needs help.
You don't want any on the guns, Captain?
I don't think. Well, am I wrong that our guns are out, aren't they?
Your ion cannon is out.
Our ion cannon's
but you
out.
have a
The
concussion
missile
missile launcher
launchers-
and a light blaster cannon.
Yeah.
Oh, I
the,
see. Sorry.
the missile
Okay.
launcher is reloading, I guess, because it's got the tag reload. So
Okay.
but I do
Please.
have the light blaster cannon to fire. up.
Okay. You stay here. I'll go and help him.
And there's checks to make sure it comes off, and then mutters, "Finally does something around here."
Oh, that's great. That's great. I love it. Sweet. So let's see. Bendy, you're trying to get to the engines finally after
Yeah.
D-Mock yelled at you. D-Mock's trying to help out, heading towards Talon while Inez is firing again. Is that right?
Yeah.
So you've already fired. Let's see what Talon is doing right now. One of your engines appears to be offline. What do you want to do, Talon?
Okay, so everybody's back in
Yeah,
the
the shuttle
Huntress.
is moored. They're dropped through the airlock, so everything's good with D-Mock's shuttle.
Oh man.
You could try to outrun this thing. Just get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah, I think can I roll my getaway move?
Yes,
that
this
just be
is what
boring?
that's what we were setting up anyway. So I think the getaway move seems right here. Let's go ahead and have you roll plus gut.
All right. I rolled an 8.
Okay, you have 1 hold.
One
Now this is
hold.
during the job. Do you want to burn this 1 hold you have? You won't have it down the road.
Mm-hmm. Oh man.
So you can as jockey, you can
Yeah,
engage and try to use
You-
the ship move of engines to fly away.
You know what? The job is gonna go perfectly fine and smooth. Nothing could possibly go wrong. We have
Uh-huh.
this problem right now. So yeah, we're gonna get out of here.
All right. Sweet. So Inez, you get a parting shot, Dimok as well, but Talon turns on some fancy flying and using the sublight engine, even though it's kind of firing a little bit, one of the engines, the other one is powerful enough, and it looks like, well, the cannons are on and the engines have fired. This old Republic ship just can't quite keep up with the Huntress. You could take some pot shots at her while you're trying to outrun this thing, or you could just trust in Talon to get you guys out of here. What do you
In Talon,
do
I
since
think.
you're in the turret there, Inez?
I think it's not it's seriously trying to line up a shot, because I know that will involve opening us up to attack as well. So it's more just kind of like broad covering fire, suppressing fire almost.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good. Cool. So you leave that predatory ship in your rear view mirror, and Talon, you are quickly informed by your ever helpful droid P14A that the astrogation coordinates have been input, and he suggests that you punch it.
Oh yeah, punch it. And we see the stars fly by. Yeah.
Nice. And then the Clone Wars era ship like flies back around, starts to pick up some of the battle droids. A few of them just missed their jump, so they weren't toasted, and they'll go lie in wait. Cool. You've flown one span. Just one. Now it's time to fly a second span. We'll do that. We may be taking our mid-game bio break after that. We'll see how it comes out. Do you want to spend any fuel and supplies to get bonuses to this roll? This will get you to Karania City. Sorry.
Can I just add one thing for just fiction's sakes? I think that we're a network of like rusters and like truckers, they have their network. So I think I've left behind a bucket that's been made to like shoot out a signal. It has a Mon Calamari spray painted on it that says it's a trap, and it's letting out a signal, letting everybody know that this is a trap.
Poor droids. Everything seems to be drying up here. Roger. Let's move on. Need to name that Clone Wars era honeypot.
But yeah, we do want to spend some bonus this time, I think.
I'm okay with that.
All right. How much fuel and supplies do you want to use?
Well, we have to spend one supply, don't we?
Spend one supply and one fuel just to do it, which means you get a +1 automatically.
Okay.
Spend extra and you get extra.
Okay, then we'll spend an extra fuel.
Okay. That means you're rolling +2.
Okay. Hey, I rolled a 10.
Nice. All right. On fly a span within our bucket of moves on a 10+. Every crew, you get to choose one. Loosen a chain, heat or cool a chain, stumble upon an abandoned Hulk, come across a station.
That was a really tense moment. I think Talon is going to stay away from all trouble, and he's going to take this time to try to make peace with everyone on the ship. And I think he's going to bake something.
Fun. So
Yep.
are you choosing every crew member chooses one chain to loosen?
Yeah, we're going to loosen some chains here.
Okay.
Because
Now,
morale is
loosing
important.
loosening a chain means that you're dropping the heat on it, or let's double check. No, tightness. It would definitely be an attitude thing. Right. Yeah. Because heats or cools a chain is changing the numerical value. Loosening a chain means anything that is choking, you'd move to slack, or sorry, it goes slack, taut, choking. So choking to taut or taut to slack.
I'd like to move my relationship with Talan to taut, because although I mistrust this mercenary person because I've seen so many of his kind before, he came back for us, and I'm not sure I would have done the same.
I think there's a technical difference between came back and didn't leave.
Yes, and that is the world of difference between Inez and DMAC.
Okay.
I
Bendy.
think
Oh,
there
sorry.
will just be a moment where like I get a piece of space cake for Inez and maybe tell her like, look, you and I both know what we've done in the past, but I think there has to be a level of trust here if we're gonna go get through this thing alive together.
And I think that was all conveyed when Inez came back for seconds. And also ate it without waiting to see whether it was poisoned first.
Mhm. Without feeding it to Bendy first to see if he died. Sounds good.
Awesome. Bendy, which chain do you loosen?
I'm loosening my chain with DMAC from choking to taut. I think that Bendy, was just saved from a terrible death by DMAC's flying, right? So he's grateful, he's trying to be, nice and friendly in his gratitude for our escape from that from the grapple gun.
Yeah, and that's fine, Bendy. But you need to make sure the engines don't fail, okay? Because I'm not going to change my attitude to Bendy at this point. I think it's quite interesting to have some
It's not a
imbalances.
choice. It like that relation. So the heat moves up and
Oh, I
down.
see. So they
but
have to be the same.
chain relationship is the same. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, right. Fine. Okay. So that's taut. And I'm going. Sorry. Has Talan made a choice?
So now that Inez did it with me, can I do it with someone else as well?
Yes. Each of you get
Oh,
a
okay.
choice. Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm going to yeah, I will slack mine with Bendy because he has shown again that he is capable. And so
There
it
we
is
go.
slack now with Bendy. Yeah.
And I'm going to slacken mine with Inez from taut to slack. So across the last couple of weeks, we've gone from an increasingly intense, dangerous relationship to just an intense one, which is, I think, reflected when DMAC brings her a drink and says, I got such a buzz out of that, didn't you? It's like the old days.
The old days, the bad old days, yes.
Yeah, but don't you miss it sometimes?
She thinks, he says, I miss her sometimes, yes.
Oh,
Real quick, my my relationship with DMAC was actually already slack, so I will change. Can I do it to Inez as well, even though she just did it to me?
So you're basically doing a double dip, so it moves all the way to. Yeah, I mean you can.
Cool, let's do it. All right, Inez, this is as friendly as we're gonna get with each other, I think.
And just as a side thing, we've just fulfilled my wish, which is someone getting the XP for going from choking to slack or slack to choke. Yay!
Oh yeah, we've all had a really bonding experience from nearly running straight into this trap. Because
Funny
I'm
what
currently
certain
slack
death-
with everybody.
Oh wow, funny what certain death will do to a group.
you need to explain that XP to me.
Yes,
How does anybody get XP out of that?
It's end
So-
of session question.
it's an end of
Oh, I
session
see.
question. That it's on row. Crap.
27. BB 27.
Thank you.
Yeah.
27.
On mine. Yeah.
One of your chains went from slack to choking or choking to slack.
Okay.
During that session. So it's no, you don't get an immediate, but at the end of the session, they both get to say yes to that and get an XP, which I just hadn't seen in session. So very excited. Good work. Cool. I think, yeah, feels like commercial break, right? You guys feel a little better. You had a good ride. You arrive at Sereno, festooned with many, many Imperials, Star Destroyers, and the like. And yeah, this is the next thing. So let's go ahead and take our mid game.
We're all laughing and eating, and then we Star Destroyers everywhere.
Yeah. The Huntress comes out of hyperspace in the Sereno system, and you immediately pass by a superstar destroyer that is just sitting there where all the ships come out of this space lane, and they scan you immediately. And she's rough, right? Your ion cannon, you guys had a good span, you flew a good span, but you haven't fixed the ion cannon. And yeah, I'm really curious as you guys start to head towards Sereno.
I think
You're going to get scanned. You make it boarded. What's the plan, D-Mark?
I think that I'd like to invoke a contact, because I have a contact called Kel, an authority hunter captain. I'd like to suggest that Kel is aboard that Star Destroyer.
Ooh, nice. Well, let's
and I'd like to report a hazard in space.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So yeah, you start working through channels, and you want to talk to Captain Kel, because he's
I
an
think
authority
so.
hunter captain.
Hi, Kel. It's D-Mac Oville here. Gee, we just made it. You guys need to clean up some space around Yavin. My pilot will be transmitting the coordinates now. They dropped a boy as a warning, but it was just something we cobbled together. But there's some old Republic shit out there that we just got through.
All right. D-Mac has been forever. What are you doing on this, ship?
We were heading to Junction. What's the most what's the nearest backwater from Yavin? Because I want to tell him I was heading there.
Cool. Junction is fine. Like heading to Junction is fine. It's enough. There's stuff going on there, but nothing that would be public knowledge. So that'd be a great cover story if that's where you want to go.
But we took some damage from these droids, and also had an engine blowout. So I thought we'd kind of head to somewhere that we might really get some repairs done. Do I have to roll something for this?
You do. That's exactly where we're at. We're right at the doorstep of saying, for context. So you've called on that contact and what you need for them. Now you get to roll plus face.
Okay. And I'm wondering, can I invoke sanctioned and legitimate whenever you deal with the authority in a legitimate capacity? I am a victim of attempted piracy. Take +1 ongoing.
That makes perfect sense. So you're rolling face of 2 +1 from legitimate. So you're rolling 2 die plus 3. Nice. Is that really is that a 6?
Cover the microphone. Bendy, for Christ's sake, come up with some technical stuff I can throw at this.
So you're calling for some help from Bendy.
I am.
Oh man, but there's an XP right there waiting for you.
No, I'd like to get on planet before we crash and burn.
Sure. Bendy, you are gonna help. Now, the two of you have a taut chain.
Yeah.
And Bendy's heat with you, so we subtract the 2 heats, so it's lower the 2 heats. And it looks like they're both, sorry, it is not subtract, it is the lower of the 2 heats. Double checking, lower the
They're
2
both
heats. In
what?
fact, I bolded it to make sure I wouldn't stumble over that. And it looks like you're both 1, so that 1 is going to push you to a 7 automatically. Bendy, do you want to rack up some consequences and push this up to a 10?
Let me look at the move.
10 plus, they're friendly and will help for a good price. On a 7 to 9, they're around, yeah, but they'll bring trouble too. For 3 consequences, they go from bringing trouble to helping for a good price.
If we have a slack or a strained chain, the helping. Okay. No, we'll let this attract trouble.
Just
Fair
for
enough.
reference again, a strain chain is a taut chain, is it?
I would
Yes.
assume so.
Do so. Okay, right.
Yeah, is there something in
it
the
seems
keeper
like
that calls it
It
strained?
must be.
In the move, it's strained. In the character bit, it's taut.
I don't think that the
Yes.
Rustalks book is consistent on taut versus strained. So
Yeah, they seem like the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, so I will leave that at a 7.
We should probably go in and clean that up. Okay. So you leave it at 7. You've asked for some help, and I'm like checking in if this their round they bring trouble. If this answer seems fair to that, Captain Kell answers.
Well, if you, Captain DMAC, want to perform some repairs while we log this particular interaction, then just come aboard. There's more than enough space for your freighter, and I do have an engineering crew I'll put at your disposal to repair whatever happened during this activity.
I don't think we've got an option now. Unless if I called on somebody else to help.
Well, the way that contacts work is once at the start of a job, you hold 1. You used your hold.
Yeah. No, I was thinking, can I then cover it? Talan, send them the log of the engagement. But no, I think I need to let that one slide. So yeah, I don't hear the option. I think we've been sucked in.
And it is that moment of the big kind of, I imagine that the Huntress does have an orangish color, and you're coming into that stark gray and white of the hangar, and there are all these like TIE fighters arrayed and a bunch of stormtroopers and engineers, and yes, he like comes in and you land right there in the middle, kind of like a weird moment of like, if you remember when Emperor Palpatine comes in the Lambda class shuttle, except there are no stormtroopers waiting in rows and in parade procession for you. It's just a very active hangar, and you guys come in, and a couple of TIE fighters scream past you as they head to the force screen and out into space.
Okay, now before we go, let's just be clear, guys. Okay, Inez, please don't put a step wrong. Talan, let's keep the level of performance low, okay? And Bendy, get as much as you can from this engineering crew so we can get out of this place as quickly as possible, okay?
I even do the little boot clicks together.
Okay. Showtime. Zzz, zzz.
Nice. You guys come out, and Trooper makes his way up.
Hi there.
All right. So Captain Cal says you guys need some work. Yeah, that's an understatement.
My engineer here will help your team get as much out of this as possible. So we'll just sit over there.
Captain said that you guys will be put up in some quarters while you wait. If you'll just follow the yellow line that leads you out of the hangar, down the hallway to an area, well, you can stay there.
And there's got to be one of those little black droids that kind of
Little mouse
You follow.
droid. Yeah, he tells you to follow the mouse droid. I love that. That sounds great. So do we do like a quick star wipe to the four of you in this, I imagine like central lounge with small cabins around it. It's almost like a suite type deal.
I do want to be just clear a bit here about what is Zinj's approach to the non-human races. Are we in species? Are we in a difficult kind of place here?
So let me, before I answer that question, let me take a look at our lines and veils. Wow, where did it go? I'm so blind. There's safety and roller, Rich. Okay. So we have a line on racism, speciesism. So yeah, it's a much more cosmopolitan approach, especially in Karania City, where there are lots of different aliens here. So that's not going to cause a problem for you.
Well, enjoy.
Sweet. So the calf is not great. The finger foods in this, I mean, this is where the imps have, look, this is a superstar destroyer. They have guests, they do tours. This is a thing that they do, and you've been put up in an area the civvies are shown. Your captain friend, again, because of the middling result, he doesn't have time to meet with you. He sends his apologies. There are stormtroopers just outside. You're not sure how long these repairs are going to take. You're not sure how much you're going to be billed for. They are logging whatever complaint you have, all the details that you want to provide about the battle droids and the little honeypot and the distress beacon, all that stuff. If you are fully honest and upright and forthright, which you used for the role, then they're going to log that. They're going to deal with it. That's what they do.
They're nothing if not efficient.
They're nothing if not efficient. So Inez, you're on an Imperial Superstar Destroyer. That's got to feel great. What do you do?
What would Etama do?
Bomb all of it.
Yes. I think I think that it's a mistake perhaps to leave us all off the ship now that I think about it, right? Like while they poke around on it. And I would in fact like to use the bolt holes move instead, if I could do, if it's not too much of a disruption,
it's
to
gonna
say that
a
I
little
stayed
bit of a
behind on the
backtrack to say you stay behind. Yeah, that's interesting.
Does that sound okay? Because I'm just struggling to think of what else otherwise. Because I definitely, if I was Etama, I would know what to do. As I'm Inez, mostly just want to get away from it.
That sounds
So,
awesome.
Okay, the Regal Huntress, bolt hole. You hide something or something roll plus size. We have a +2 bolt hole.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jesus Christ. On a 7 to 9, I hide it, but one person of my choosing, one of the MCs choosing, knows it's hidden there. And what I'm hiding is, I think, myself, if that's okay.
Yeah,
Right.
that was your intent for engaging the rule.
Yeah,
So-
and I think the person of my choosing who knows is DMAC. Because I did actually, given in our new working relationship, I cleared this with him before deciding to take the initiative.
Oh, that's so great.
And
And it seemed like a very sensible idea at the time,
yes,
because
yeah,
she was only going to cause trouble.
Yes.
Talan is a nice guy. Inez is not a nice woman.
I am so wounded.
Where's the lie?
There is no lie. Just more like a mirror when I look at DMAC.
Awesome. And then I get to choose someone who knows.
Mhm.
So yeah. I think what happens is that you start getting a stream of updates from P14A because he knows you're down here, and he starts informing you they're checking the engines now, and now they have logged and recorded our transponder code. Now they are aware of where our weapons are. Just gets a stream of these guys are relatively thorough. It's those texts that come forward in New Hope, like they've got the little scanning type droid, but they're mostly here for repairs rather than treating you guys like you're smugglers. Although
Yeah, well, I am literally in a smuggling compartment, cramped up, probably with like a data pad like wired into the wall, right? While P14A is giving me the updates on it.
Yep, love that. So let's
Initially, it
cut
comes over the intercom, right? Like over the ship intercom. I'm like, Triff, until I pull down a headphones.
I love it. And P14A was I think there'll be a moment when P14A says,
Inez, it seems that they are forming a connection between me and their network. I could attempt to access information for you.
By all means.
Cut to the lounge where DMAC is saying to Talan, all she has to do is sit there quietly and do nothing.
Mac, relax. Inez, I think she's just really coming around.
She is. She's just, it was a good idea to stay there. She'll just keep her head down, stay quiet, just ignore what's going on, maybe take a little sleep. That'd be great.
Mac, there's no possible way Inez is going to do something shady.
Exactly.
Now, Rich, I have a question. While all of this is going on, I think that Bendy has been communing with the Imperial engineers, and I think that on this mega starship destroyer, they probably throw a lot of stuff away, right? They probably are very wasteful compared to what Bendy is used to. So if you're okay with this, I think that Bendy is going through the trash pile, with like a kid in a candy store. He's like, you threw this stuff away. This is perfect. And he's taking everything that they'll let him take.
that sounds good. I think if you want to try to pull that off, I am curious if maybe it's a thing where a stormtrooper says along the lines of
I'm not clear to let you take this. You said you wanted to look at our trash. I'm trying not to judge you or anything. It's just difficult. But
Bendy looks at me. He's like, it's trash. You burn it. It's trash.
Exactly. Right. It's trash, and you want to take trash.
And if you give it to me, then you can go on a break when you're supposed to be running the incinerator.
that sounds like you're trying to fast talk him. So let's see how that comes across. Roll plus face.
Bendy is not a fast talker.
I
think I have 0 face. Yes.
Yeah, you have no face.
But Mama said I was so
8.
handsome.
8. That's better than I expected. Good job. All right, on a 7 to 9, they'll buy it, but the MC adds one more thing first. They need some concrete proof of what you're saying. They want something extra on top of what you've already got. They're uncertain, not ready to go one way or the other. Here's the something extra on top. He just holds out his hand. Well,
if it's worth something to you, maybe it's worth something to me.
Yeah, Bendy looks at him. Bendy starts going through his pockets. And he's gonna pull out a credit. So he'll take out a credit chip and he'll say, well, all right. Oh, of course. And he'll slide it into his hand. And Bendy is sweating profusely at this point.
Well, I need to take a break.
then he pockets the credit, turns and just walks and leaves you in this trash area where I'm totally biting off the Cloud City thing. Like there's an incinerator at the end and the small belt. It's just the things are moving along the belt, right? Yeah. And you just pull whatever you want to carry. If you want to basically get back that 1 cred worth of scrap.
Yeah.
I'm into
So I rolled a 14 on my harvest junk.
Awesome.
So I get the worth in scrap of the scrap.
Wow, that's awesome.
So how much do you think today's trash is worth? They probably burn it daily because it is a big ship. But
yeah, just roll a d6. That's how many scrap you find that's usable.
Right.
You want to roll high, of course.
5.
Man, you find some real good stuff. Like evidently they are installing these brand new consoles and some of the older motherboards, and I keep using motherboards. So like, some of the older tech you're able to recover. It's perfectly functional, but they have to convert everything over to a new system.
Yeah. So Bendy is very happy. Bendy, when he returns to the ship, he's a little bit overloaded compared to when he left.
That's cute. Sweet. So Talon and Democ, are you guys just enjoying the time?
I have no plans. I want us to keep our heads down and have nothing untoward happen. And as I keep saying, Inez wouldn't do anything stupid.
And what about?
A couple of things about Talon. Number one, Talon never passes a chance when there's free snacks around. But he is not going to eat this Imperial food because he might catch something. He might start enjoying discipline and structure. And who wants that? That's awful. He's just looking around this big gray bland place like, who would want this kind of life? This is horrific. And then of course he also thinks about his time on Ryloth, and then another thing, he's he trusts DMAC's contact, but he's also thinking about the fact that he has illegal things back on the Huntress, nothing like majorly illegal, but just comforts like Deveronian cigars that are not legal to have, or some sort of ale that's also illegal. So he's probably not going to come back and find those. So
nope, they're gone. Just fretting then. Talon's not planning on doing anything about it, just fretting about realization.
Oh yeah, he's going between like calming down DMAC, like, and this is fine, it's gonna be fine, to like thinking about things and just like tweaking.
Nice. So
I'm just
we cut
waiting
back
for an alarm to go off.
Yeah, you're just waiting for an alarm to go off.
So we cut back to Inez in this bolt hole, a Deveronian cigar in one hand, whatever the other thing was. Sorry, I've forgotten. Like crumbs
It was
of
a
it around
brandy
her.
of some kind, like
A brandy,
an
yeah, an
alcohol.
empty bottle of that, like one half empty bottle. Now, like, this is good stuff. And P14A says, "Do you want me?" And he says, "I told DMAC I would do nothing like this. I wouldn't do anything dangerous or suspicious, but I suppose I am not, am I? You go ahead, P14A. You do whatever the Force tells you to do."
Technically, I don't recognize the Force.
I'm good that we had this chance to discuss philosophy, P14A, but you're about to tell me something more interesting, I thought.
Nice. Cool. So let's put it to a move. How good is P14A and you doing this?
I want to make it very clear that Inez is doing nothing.
Okay.
Just allowing something to happen.
Just allowing something to happen. Sure. Good. So I think
from a certain point of view, of course.
From a certain point of view.
Analyze something?
Analyze something as a possibility. Yeah, I was also thinking maybe you've got to hold firm while this is going on, because there's a whole lot happening and maybe you could be discovered, or perhaps P14A could misstep.
No, I like that. Yeah.
All right, let's have you hold firm. Roll plus spine.
Mainly because I just gave myself an extra one in spine as well.
Oh, how clever you are. I didn't know that. I would not have offered such a thing.
My first 10 of the entire game, despite I think rolling more than I've done in many other games. So a 10, I hold. It's fine for now. And I'd like to imagine this is like, P14A starts rooting through this stuff and like some terminal starts blinking near where I am, and I just hear like footsteps right on top of the thing, right? And it's like, and I put out the cigar.
Oh,
no, I put the cigar in the brandy.
It seems that the Imperials are aware of this contact that you have been sent to fetch. I'm so sorry that we have to abandon the mission.
Oh no, they're just Imperials. You can always find one you can bribe.
Well, there are 13,428 Imperials on this ship. How do you suggest that we try to find the one to bribe?
Usually when we leave and go down to the planets, and it is the first one who you cannot kill, you offer to pay.
Interesting.
I mean, I have yet to meet an honest Imperial.
I am logging that into my databanks. Thank you for this education, Inez.
Oh, thank you, P14A. So they know about our contact. Do we have a name for this contact? Or
yes, Wisher.
Wisher. Sorry, I was hearing it as Whisper before. Wisher.
Yeah, I'm doing a retcon edit. Wisher.
Yeah, I was thinking Whisper Base.
Yeah, because we have Whisper Base. I think I'd said Whisper, but I meant Wisher, so I'm retconning too.
Okay.
And we post-production, we went and we did some like audio
ADR, some CGI reconstruction,
Exactly.
That Twi'lek turned into a hut, that kind of thing. Yeah, okay. Totally. I wish our contact is known by the Empire. Do they say that they are onto? How close are they to our contact?
It appears that a member of the gang that Wisher is part of, the Razor Girls, has a deep agent, ISB. That stands for Imperial Security Bureau.
I am well acquainted with the ISB. Thank you, P14. Where are you when I need you? Okay.
Unfortunately, it does not disclose the name. They're only using a code name for the deep plant from the ISB.
What is the code name, P14?
And the code name for it is trying to think of a cool code name.
Blackthorn.
Blackthorn. That sounds very imperial.
You play enough Delta Green, you can come up with code names like that.
So we cut out of that, like Blackthorn. We cut from that. Bendy, you returning with all the scrap, like you just went to a basically a flea market and came back with the greatest of hauls. And a stormtrooper steps into the lounge area.
Captain DMAC, I'm here to inform you that your ship will be released shortly. You are cleared to return to the Regal Huntress. Nice name.
Yeah, we like it. Come on, Talon. Time to go.
Sounds good.
Talon's got a bag and he's like shoveling off the little bits of those weird Rice Krispie treat things, the food cubes.
Definitely going to take some back to the ship. You never know when a few snacks are going to be able to raise morale. But I don't like it. I don't, I don't trust Imperials. And I kind of want to scan my my environment and see what is off about this.
Oh, that seems cool.
It's too easy. Too easy. Specifically, I'm starting to wonder if this is the ship that might have all those undercover, because from what I understood, there was a bunch of undercover rebels, right? Yeah, I'm wondering if this is it. I might question to see if they have some sort of arboretum on the Star Destroyer, if they grow a specific kind of plant.
Cool. So you're dropping in that code name, and you're also trying to get a read on this situation as you're headed back to the ship.
Correct. Yeah.
Cool.
And I rolled a 12, so I believe
you rolled a 12. That's amazing.
Questions.
You get to hold 2, and do you get an extra one for some reason, or
no? I don't. I'm sorry. I thought it was 3. This 2. Okay.
That's all right.
Okay, we're gonna get a read on this too easy of a situation. What is the largest unaccounted threat variable or danger here? And I'm afraid we're being double crossed. So.
Yeah, I mean, the largest threat is that the Imperials have just fixed your ship for you. They're going to charge you credits for the work.
Oh, voodoo.
You will be invoiced. Is that the largest uncounted threat? Like, that's the largest danger, is that you're in the middle of a super Star Destroyer. I'm sorry that is the like super, but yeah, that's the thing is. And they're letting you go. They don't just let people go.
What's hidden, obscured, or unclear? I want to know if this is that rebel ship.
Oh, there's a homing beacon on your ship. They planted you with a homing beacon. They're just going to follow wherever you go.
Okay. All right. Those are my 2 questions.
Sweet. The engine is in good shape. The ion cannon has been fixed. Every bit of contraband that you guys had in anywhere that people would just cursor observation is all been confiscated. It's contraband. There's like a data pad listing all of the items. The Stormtrooper hands that over.
I noticed that some of my stuff is missing. So either Ines smoked it and drank it, or these stormtroopers did.
Captain DMAC, perhaps you didn't have an updated list of the contraband, but we have procured this information and it will be disposed of. Apologies. If you wish to be reimbursed for each of these items of contraband, feel free to fill out this form and subject it to the proper channels.
Yeah, we'll think about that. Thank you.
And this is the invoice for the work of our fine engineers repairing your ship.
And what does that come to?
2 cred.
Okay, I think we'll eat that. I'm not gonna risk staying here for any longer than that. So yeah, so where are we? Regal Huntress. Has that 7 creds had Bendy's cred to the, or is this different scale of creds?
I try to, the scale of creds will make my eyes cross if we flip like
Fine.
little cred, big cred. You've got mega creds. Sorry, that was a joke.
Long ago and far away. Okay,
So
then I've subtracted 2 cred.
Okay, cool. And you guys are free to go. Like you can literally just go get off of the Superstar Destroyer. I think I'm just going to be that level of nerdy. I'm going to call it the Hand of Sorrow, if that's okay with everybody. Sweet.
Write on a large piece of paper that says, they're probably bugging and tracking us. Bendy, find the bugs. Okay? So just be careful what you say, it says.
I just want to clarify, Rich, I would know that they're not, right? Due to staying on the ship, bugging us, and they haven't left any bugs on the ship, right?
You didn't see it. You've been in a smuggling compartment. Unfortunately, P14A didn't see it either. But Talon knows where they are. Like P14A doesn't like to understand that exactly.
Yeah, just deciding between whether playing along was a joke or serious. So it's serious now.
Yeah. But yeah, Talon, you made the roll. You know where it is. You can do the work or get Bendy to do the work to remove it. But
yeah, I'll pass it on to Bendy. I'll write it on a piece of paper and then give it to him. And it really is just a bunch of pictures and stick figures. And Talon don't write so good. So
Bendy takes it.
I'd like to beckon DMAC into one of our hidden compartments that they couldn't possibly have booked, and just reveal that they know about Wisher. There is an ISB agent.
Okay. Do you know anybody on Karani City?
Let me have some contacts. Yes.
We might need them. I've been checking out what we know, and the Razor Girls are in a part of the city called Metroplex 13, Block 13.
Block 13. Something about the number 13.
I know. I know.
Brings back old memories.
Yeah. Couldn't be Block 12 or Block 14.
But yes, I think I can find, if not someone I know, then someone who knows someone I know in such a place.
Okay.
You just need to start looking at the bottom.
The way we play this is that we're here for cargo. So legitimate. Yeah. And then we find Wisher, and try to avoid Blackthorn. Easy.
Is that a star wipe and the 4 of you are out of the ship and like walking into sweet Metroplex 13? I'm totally, my vibe on Metroplex 13, it is very much Mega City 1 vibe. The Block 13 has several of these just megaplexes that go up for hundreds of stories. They are the kind of place that some people never leave, right? That certain levels have food stores and stuffs, and they may work in virtual reality or whatever. So they just that's their whole world. And I'm curious where Inez, being kind of your expertise among the group, where do you want to start off?
I think it's with I think it's with Jorgo the Hutt, a crime boss for the area. Active across the Zindj region, but known to have interests in and a base here on the capital in Kyrenia, and lives in the life of luxury amongst the cramped and squalid confines of, it's like if you step into the right parts of the block, you come into Jorgo's palace, as he calls it, and Jorgo is a Hutt from one of my Bounty of the Week games, who speaks in Basic, because Hutts can speak Basic, they just deign not to.
Exactly.
Whereas he's a bit of the only reason I'm even speaking to him is he's like a rogue operator within the cartel.
And are you imagining that you guys quickly arrive at a wherever he is?
I'm imagining, that this is walking through ever denser crowds of people, right? And Nez sees like markings and stuff, and maybe Talan recognizes a couple of them on the wall that leads you deeper and deeper, and then down into kind of like a sort of maintenance area. It looks like an almost like disused plant area kind of thing, and a couple of like what are they called? The guys with the three eyes and the Gants, the Gint, whatever they're called, Gants, is it? Yeah, but some the ones that you shot a lot of in Dark Forces, basically. There's a bunch of them, sitting around like a bin or something, and I just go over it like on fire and everything, right? And it's like, just 1 second, and hand motions, blah blah blah, and then they thump a wall. Opens up to crisp air conditioned like interior of Jorgo's palace. Gand, that's the one. Yeah, Gand.
Nice. That is awesome. Thank you for that very colorful description. That is great. So I have a potential picture, but I don't know. Do you have opposition like in your head canon to Hutts that have hair? Because in some of the CGI, like Clone War era stuff, they did.
No, I don't have a opposition to a Hutt that has hair. It sounds weird as hell to me.
Well, because the picture that I grabbed for Hutt, I was trying to find one that I haven't used for anybody else.
Yeah.
The guy has hair.
I have no objection to it. Inez stifles a laugh every time she sees Jorgo.
I mean,
that's one of the reasons why he's a rogue, right? Because he's it's a piece. Yeah, he likes to emulate the humans. He's a.
There we go. So you're in a perfectly air-conditioned, crisp, clean place. There are a number of guards around, and I think Jorgo also doesn't have any slaves. Like that's just not a thing he does. It's like he respects these humans. Sure, he has to be their boss, tell them what to do, but he's a Hutt. What are you going to do?
Jorgo has always been good about business. Lots of Hutts say it's all business, but really they just want to, the same old hierarchy. They're practically nobility in their own heads. But Jorgo...
My, oh my. Is this Inez the Twi'lek I see before me?
Great and powerful Jorgo, I come before you to seek your aid. And I kneel down ostensibly and bow. Please do not feed me and my friends to your pet rancor.
You grovel with the best of them, Inez. You're a sight for sore eyes. Why aren't you down in the ass end of Coruscant?
Because I'm here in the ass end of Chadrina.
Well, that's a true statement, but just a little evasive. I understand that you came down in a rusty hulk of a ship, or do my canaries lie?
You have to travel, in the style that your destination is suited for, Jorgo. I'm leaving the jewel of the Empire to come to Zinj's backwater. I thought I would blend in.
Blend in, but if my eyes don't deceive me, your Twi'lek friend is interesting. What is your name?
Talan Gendro, your slugginess.
Talon Gendro.
You've heard of me.
Well, most people who watch plays don't bother to learn who wrote the songs and composed the music, but you'll find I'm a cut above the rest, Talon Gendro.
Oh, clearly, just by looking at your dwelling, you are a hut of great and exquisite taste.
What is one like chintzy thing that you notice in Jorgo's little abode here? I imagine he's on like a flying palanquin type deal, but he's got a bunch of knickknacks and bric-a-bracs to show exactly how cultured he is. What's one
I
piece?
actually imagine Jorgo as like, the really awful CGI of Jabba.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's actually a hut who doesn't let himself go to fat and to thingy. He moves. He's under his own power. He doesn't like the whole.
Oh, cool.
He's a complete like.
Yeah,
I'm sorry
he's
to
got
say
the
that.
hair.
All the,
yeah, no, that's
the
fun.
things.
I like that. That's a neat kind of twist on it. So yeah, he's kind of worming his way around, but his wall's got a bunch of bric-a-brac and other things. Like he's got tchotchke. Talon, what is one piece of tchotchke that you pick out on his wall that belies maybe some of the class that you're giving to Jorgo?
I think that he is I'm going to pitch you two things. Number one, he is fascinated by the rebellion and the Empire and their constant conflict, and so he collects propaganda from the rebellion. He has a bunch of posters that say, join up and fight the Empire. And he has the same thing from the Empire side as well. And I was going to pitch you that he has hair, but it's not his natural hair.
Oh no, yeah, that's definitely not. That's a wig. Yeah, it's
real. And but he doesn't know that, like, because he isn't a human. He doesn't know that you're not supposed to hide that sort of thing. And so he actually has his wigs out on display. Like, not on display, but he just has them out. They're just there to view.
In case he wants to change.
Yeah, I guess he wants to change like mid-conversation. He just,
Good. I like that. I like that a lot. Cool. He says,
Well, one of my favorite Twi'leks and a true artist come to my abode. What is it that you are looking for?
We are looking for your aid to find someone here whom you may know. And of course, we would like to stay under the radar of certain individuals and organizations, if you know what I mean.
Trying to avoid any imperial entanglements?
Oh, your ponderousness. We would like to avoid any and all complicated entanglements, but wouldn't you agree that the Imperials are the worst kind of entanglements?
He pauses and he looks over at this poster, like a hollow poster of Princess Leia, and she's looking all regal. And she's of course, like, there's a slogan at the bottom, like believe in change. Yeah, remember Alderaan.
As I look at Princess Leia, I say, speaking of Imperial entanglements, I heard a rumor that the daughter of Lord Vader is here in the system.
That's a lie. I have it on good authority that that's a New Republic. What's the
Psyop?
word?
Psyop?
Psyop, that's the term. I'm too smart for that kind of stuff.
And then he reaches up and he like scratches his head and his wig kind of moves slightly to the side. He scratches it and then he comes back and it's still slightly askew.
Listen, Jorgo, what we are after is we are looking for nothing more than a little group of local gangs, the kind of street hawks that you or I, we both know. They come and they go, but they have their uses. We're looking for the Razor Girls. But I hear a rumor that ISB has its beak in the Razor Girls. And ISB having its beak in the Razor Girls means that ISB is looking at, well, all of this. Perhaps it's in our interest to find out who that person is, huh?
I think you're trying to fast talk him, right?
I think I'm going to need to roll the move, really, right? For the contacts.
Oh, yeah. This is your contact. Let's do that.
Contacts, sorry, it's on a thing, isn't it?
Face.
Hover over.
Rolling plus face.
Roll plus face. Maybe I should have put 2 in there.
Maybe.
That's an 8.
Okay, so then the result for an 8
They're
is
around,
that,
yeah, but they'll bring trouble too. I should probably have done that beforehand, right? Like before.
yeah, no, it's totally we can for
Yeah.
sure. They'll bring trouble.
I mean, I can think of a billion ways that the Hook Cartel, speaking to even a loosely affiliated member of the Hook Cartel kind of thing.
Right. He says,
Oh, the Razor Girls and I are not on the best of terms. You see, a few of the other gangs went down recently. They thought that they could leapfrog up. No, not under my watch. So I had to clip the wings of a couple of girls. Makes the rest of them harder, They should be thanking me.
We have to teach lessons sometimes.
I know where you can find them, but you probably don't want to drop my name. Unless you want their blood to run cold with fear.
So say we were, I mean, who knows what might happen, right? But say a certain, Razor Girl / ISB agent was to be killed in a freak accident or in some kind of horrible, avoidable confrontation. Would you like your name to be dropped to the end, Joko?
Why, yes. That sounds like an amenable solution to some imperial problem.
Well, I'll see what I can do. It may never come, but hey, just wanted to know what would happen with the gift band. If I don't look a gift banter in the mouth, is what I always say.
Is
Really
that
wanted
what
to make sure you wanted
always say?
This is what I said since I spent 3 weeks on Tatooine. My God, that place.
Yeah, Jabba could have that piece of poodoo.
So, so he knows where the Razor Girls are, I guess.
Yes, he knows where the Razor Girls are, and he is happy to point you to where you can find them. Let's see. They are. Oh, yes. Here we go. Josh, if you could, please roll 2d6, and we are going to use a cantina name generator. Ooh.
That is a 4 and a 6.
A 4 and a 6. Oh my goodness. It is known as the Sarlacc Club. That's where most people who try to hire the Razor Girls for stuff go to meet them. The Sarlacc Club is owned by Queen Requiem, who is kind of the de facto leader of the Razor Girls. So, yeah. Do we want to skip to you guys entering the Sarlacc Club? Here's some.
I wanted to ask one more question. I say to our hut contact, what's his name? Django?
It's Jorgo, right?
Jorgo. I asked Jorgo. Jorgo, of course, these rumors of Darth Vader's daughter are false, but wouldn't you say that it would make for an interesting musical?
Of course it would be interesting, Talon. I won't lie. Now, let me pitch you on this. The tale of a worldly cosmopolitan hut who leads people to greater culture and understanding. We can work in the more Vader angle if you'd like, but a Jorgo solo, what do you think?
Jorgo, a corpulent hut such as yourself wouldn't be looking to get into show business, would you? I happen to be writing in a part much like you just described, and I'm also looking for a producer and funder of my new play.
That sounds like a fast talk. He is all about being in one of your plays, but being a funder and producer, that is the fast talk. So,
all right, let's see what happens here. Oh, it's a 12. I rolled a 12.
I think we can work something out. Once you're done with the Razor Girls, assuming you survive, that you being male, they're likely going to cut off your sex organs. But assuming you survive, let me know. We'll work something out. I will definitely fund something worthy of you and your genius. This is a good day. Thank you, Inez. Now get out.
Well, I'll say out of character that it's not the first time that a woman has tried to cut off Talon's sex organs. So we'll see.
So we do a quick cut to the Sarlacc Club, which of course has this like neon version of the Sarlacc with the of course the extended or the expanded version with the cool like CGI of the little Audrey 2 tentacle things that are coming out and the like, and there are people like dancing around the Sarlacc pit in the neon thing, just like silhouettes. And like you come in and the place is, what is it, Bindi, that you find most fascinating about the Sarlacc Club? Is it that there are other Ithorians, the music? Is it something about the tech here? What is it that really draws you into this place?
That's a good question. I think And please stop me if I am going too far.
Okay.
Because I
I'm
would like
excited to hear you go too far. All right.
because I would like to say that there is a Sarlacc in the Sarlacc Club.
That's crazy. Like a baby Sarlacc, they have like implanted underneath the plexiglass dance floor or something.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
It's, you know, this is a big city, and it's, you know, it's, yeah, you see here, this is a picture of a Sarlacc. It's wild. I mean, you never really see Sarlacc.
Holy crappuccino
in sand, right? And I think that they
let me share with anybody that happens to be watching this what Josh has given us. That is what a Sarlacc looks like under the sand.
Apparently.
No wonder they're always hungry.
No wonder. Yeah. So I think that part of the draw of the Sarlacc Club is that they have a Sarlacc in a big like central tube, right? And they have like scheduled feedings and stuff.
There is a really, it clearly breeds by budding. They do come in a small variety. I noticed down the bottom right of that picture.
Wow.
Yes.
Either that or they're mammals.
Of course, there are baby Sarlaccs. It's not a full-grown Sarlacc, of course. And I think
1,000 years old, right? The one in the
I think probably a little bit like a goldfish, you know. It's like when you keep a Sarlacc in a tank, it cannot grow to its full size.
Oh, nice.
But it is still a very large creature.
Oh my gosh, that's so great. I love it. The feedings, like, and I imagine there's a part of the dance floor that's like right underneath the Sarlacc, so like little tentacles come up and rub underneath your feet. Oh, that's so good.
I'll turn to Bendy and be like, see, this is how you do show business right, Bendy.
Yeah, Bendy is astonished. Bendy's never seen a Sarlacc before. But he's heard a lot about him, and whew, what a creature.
That's so great. Like, my mind is blown. I love it.
Inez is just gonna be with DMAC and say, listen, DMAC, I think you should still do the talking here, but these places can be deceptively dangerous, you know? I just want you to know, I've got your back. Smile with teeth.
So yeah, I want to get a meeting with, what was the owner's name?
Oh, I have dropped in a new tab called
Also,
Karania NPCs, and Queen Requiem is underneath the bar for Razor Girl, so row 14.
Is that a heavily modified human, or is that a Twi'lek modified to look more like a human? Weird.
Yeah.
Who knows, right? I think that's the thing that she likes, is not knowing, because she delights in freaking out the Mundies.
So actually, it's get a read, isn't it? What's the best way I can get a meeting with Queen Requiem?
Awesome. Let's just have you get a read.
That is an 8.
Oh, cool. You get one.
I only need the one question.
Best way you could get a meeting with Queen Requiem. You guys enter. Of course, you're immediately eyes drawn to the baby Sarlacc in there, but then you look up, scan. There are a lot of people dancing. By the way, if this is too loud, I apologize. I don't think it is. It'll only be for a moment.
With a little bit of this music's playing, and you spot Queen Requiem. She's on the dance floor, surrounded by people, but no one person seems to be dancing with her directly. She just likes to mingle within the crowd, and you realize, oh, she's pretty open. Getting a meeting with her is just walk right up to her, which you wouldn't expect.
Okay. Well, then watch my back, Inez. And I start to dance with Queen Requiem.
Nice. D-Mock, you slide up to dance. Now, is the dance like a friendly dance? Are you trying to like mac up on her? What is the approach that D-Mock has?
Seduction.
Nice. And Inez is the wingman here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
like we go on dancing together, right? And I'm just sort of like, I'm letting him lead and do all of the steps, and then like just doing that whole melting away as the queen comes, you know, I'm like a hype person in the crowd, basically.
Nice.
Your music, I could barely hear it, to be honest.
You can barely hear it? Okay.
Yeah, but your voice is all modulated.
Oh, weird. Okay.
There. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can sort of hear the music. Your voice is no longer modulated, which is better.
Good.
I think. Yeah.
Trying to turn off the modulation, but keep the music just going a very, very quiet amount. I just forgot to turn off the voice mod part when I went to a different setting. Sorry. This is Rich on the fly, trying to use a thing that they've recently added to voice mod. I appreciate you guys putting up with it. Awesome. So make your way up. I think that you're trying to fast talk your way into being impressed by you, right?
No, I'm using reputation.
Oh, even better. Let's do that.
When you meet someone important, your call, roll plus face. On a 10 plus they've heard of you, blah, blah, blah.
Love it.
Yeah? 2d6 plus 2. That's a 10. On 10 plus they've heard of you and your ship. You decide what they've heard. They've heard that we are the coolest dudes in this sector.
That is
however
great.
However she defines cool, which might mean incredibly violent.
We're punk.
We're a reflection of her.
Yeah. Queen Requiem. There's a moment when you approach and she just admires you. Clasps her hands. She takes in your handsome visage. And she notices you too, Inez. Like, you don't feel like she's ignoring you, but D-Mock's the lead, you're the wingman, and she appreciates that. She stops dancing and says, D-Mock-o-Ville. Oh my. Crew of the Regal Huntress has added Inez?
You know Inez.
I know of her reputation. I have some.
Is there
friends.
somewhere we could just
She
have a private
reaches out and
conversation?
you see that she's got these like needles for the tips of her fingers, and she very carefully, like, she knows how to manage around those claws that she has, but they're vibro claws. Like they would F you up. And she just kind of wraps that around your shoulder and then reaches just a hand out towards you, Inez. Like, she's not going to put her arm around you. She knows about you. And where is the rest of your crew, Captain Ovell? We should all come and talk.
Where is the rest of my crew as I scan the crowd? I'm imagining Bendy is kind of just looking at the ground.
Yeah. Yeah, just standing in the middle of the dance floor, just, staring down.
And I'm afraid that Talon
It's like one of the little
edging
tentacles is
gently.
rubbing up near Bendy.
I'm just slightly concerned Talon is edging up to the platform where the DJ is kind of controlling the music.
Indeed, that is true. The DJ here is right next to the bar. And it was one of those things where, like, you walk in, you look to where you have to go, you look away, and Talon has maybe like 3 or 4 strangers doing body shots off of him, like in a second at the bar. And he is now climbed up onto the bar, and he is definitely chatting up the DJ. Yeah.
Nice.
That is when can I introduce something that we don't have to like super go into right now?
What is it?
Okay, Talon is gonna be chatting up the DJ, and like this chain is gonna come out of nowhere, and it's gonna wrap around his neck, and he's gonna get pulled in by a Gamorrean, a very muscly, jacked Gamorrean that happens to be a Gamorrean female, who was going to be a Gamorrean matron, but she gave everything up to become a razor girl instead. And she also the Sarlacc handler here at the club.
Wow. So Sarlacc handler too. Okay.
Yep.
She's awesome.
And I think there's gonna be a moment of panic. But she is gonna like grab Talon, and then they're gonna be like, "Hey, it's you!"
Cool.
And I think Talon is gonna say, "Oh, last time we saw each other, you were the one chained up."
Nice.
Cue contacts roll. Cue fingers crossed.
Cool. So I think then Inez, Bindi, and Dimak will be heading into a back room here at the Sarlacc Club, while Talon is otherwise indisposed. And I think maybe we should probably call it, like, stop it right there. We'll pick up with you guys at that meeting and stuff like. Okay, sweet.
I think a good place to start the next one is exactly what the reaction of Chain Gamorrean is.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. All right, let's do our end of session questions here, and I'm going to start with Talon. Did you address a challenge with daring, talent, or wits?
Only 7 times. So I think I'm going to give myself 2 XP for that. Is that okay?
Yeah, you did more than once. You can mark XP twice. One of your chains went to slack to choking, or choking to slack. I think, yes, we literally had that happen. You made a room's personality felt.
Does that have to be mechanical, or is it?
No, it can totally be.
Okay. We're in a Sarlacc with a bunch of like S&M's razor girls. By introducing that character, did I do that? You can say no. It's a bit of a stretch.
It's supposed to be a room of the ship, so
gotcha. That's what I thought.
I'm gonna say no on that one.
You made a decision for the whole crew with or without their input. I did, and it almost looked like I was going to leave. I gave everyone a mini heart attack there for a second.
That was pretty great. I liked that a lot. Cool. Thank you. Next up, we'll deal with Bendy. Did you address the challenge with wits, creativity, or by making something?
I slapped together some repairs.
Yeah, I think you definitely saved their bacon with your maker stuff. One of your chains went to slack to choking to slack.
No.
Okay. You made a room's personality felt.
No, I'll let it. I wouldn't say so.
Okay. Yeah. And once I gotta rededicate myself to making that more present in the game, for sure. Made a decision for the whole crew with or without their input.
Not really, I wouldn't say.
Crap.
So
On the Imperials?
Spending money for.
Oh yeah, I did bribe the Imperials with for scrap on a day when we were told to lay low.
Cool. That works for me. I think that is perfectly fine and will earn you an XP. All right, Inez, you address a challenge with wits, deception, or violence.
Wits and violence. I think I've done this session, even though the violence didn't turn out well. Still tried to address it. One of my chains did go from slack to choking, or the other way around, even choking to slack. I think I made the bolt holes personality felt.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, now it has a stash of Deveronian cigars and brandy, and it's the bolt hole that Talon doesn't know about.
My cigars.
Yes, and I made a decision for the whole crew. Yes, 100%. I told P148 to carry on rather than stop. Although, I am telling the truth from a certain point of view that if it had gone wrong, it wasn't my fault.
I mean, yeah, it would have been the stupid droid's fault.
Yes.
Just blame that stupid droid.
And it was Bendy who put it in anyways, so it's not my fault at all. Yes.
Exactly. Blame
Yeah,
Bendy.
so 4
if you-
XP.
Cool. And then our fine captain, you address the challenge with charm, diplomacy, or deception. I think so. Right?
Yeah, I think so. The approach to Queen Requiem, if nothing else.
If nothing else. I think maybe even dealing with Captain Cal.
Oh,
yeah, I think so. Let's give you 2 XP there.
Okay.
And then when he changed into slack choking to slack.
No.
Made a room's personality felt.
Don't think so.
Yeah, I think maybe we had an opportunity with a shuttle and stuff going on with the engine. Maybe.
Nah, I don't think so.
Okay.
No,
You made a decision for the whole crew with or without their input. You're a captain.
I think invoking the Imperial Captain, and something else. No, there wasn't. No, that's fine.
Okay. Cool. Then that concludes the end of session questions for everybody. Let's transition over to our session end feedback. We'll start with wishes so that we end with stars. Who has a wish? Remember that next week is our finale.
And this is a wish for me as well. Not to get bogged down in the rules and the mechanics and stuff. And
yeah, I let us do that a couple times. And
yeah. I know, but it's me wanting to think them all through and being like, but how does that work? But I'd like to try and put that back as far as possible. And by all means, tell me that I'm doing it if we get into it. And otherwise, yeah, I'm enjoying. Feels as though Rust Hooks is a game of like space shenanigans and low-level crime kind of sleaze and stuff, and like
sleaze, sleaze. I totally.
Yeah, and I'm glad that we're in this underworld stuff now. So I'm looking forward to that.
Cool. Who'd like to go next with wishes?
I'd like there to be an on-planet chase of some description, because this is a swoop gang, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So it just seems that there has to be some point at which either they are chasing us or we are with them chasing someone else. I don't know.
Like it. Cool. Any other wishes?
Not for me.
All right. So Josh or Cisco?
Nothing immediately comes to mind. I agree with Will. I think that, we're all nerds who like reading role-playing games, and we like arguing about the rules. And sometimes we just need to, shove that in the box and keep on talking, right?
Yeah, I get excited about it and let y'all go too on. I will work on that.
Which to be fair, I also am a nerd who enjoys talking about the rules. But I can talk about the rules on my own time in my head, but 100%. I can't tell this beautiful story without my beautiful friends.
Oh, thank you, Josh. Keeping us honest. Cisco, what about you? Got any wishes?
If things are gonna go pear-shaped, I wouldn't mind the Sarlacc going berserk. That would be fun. And I'm going to echo Alan's wish for a chase in the city. That sounds fun. Or some sort of vehicular conflict.
And interestingly enough, you don't have that getaway driver hold anymore.
I don't. It says one per session. So
no, it does not. Reread
it.
Once
per job. You're right.
Yeah.
Once per job. Well done.
Yep. Awesome. So then, Cisco, you get to lead off with stars. Do you have any stars stand out?
I do. Will, I think your decision to slack that chain was a good one with me. That was really cool. I'm glad that you did that. And I liked our short little quasi scene where we can see that our relationship changed. Stars to Will and Alan. I just love the DMAC and Nez going back and forth, like the arguing, and then it's like, oh, okay, it's time to sandwich someone on the dance floor and work together. That was really cool. So yeah, Alan, start to you for bringing up how you were going to overcome that. Well done. Rich, this Karania City tab is incredible. It's just chock full of neat stuff here to look at. Yeah, it's that and Whisper Base. You know, I don't think I mentioned that last time. It's just so much cool stuff here. And so thank you for the time that you put in on that.
Thank you.
And as always, I am but a little boy who just lights up every time you use your voice modulator. So actually my other wish is that you like send that to me, like the program, whatever you use. Yeah. I would like to wow my players as well, like you do.
It's really fun. I never get tired of it. I will happily send VM.
Yeah. I'll say this is not a star, but it's just my favorite moment was when either Inez or DMAC brought up interacting with a contact, and your ears just went like, and your face just lit up, man. I need you to go back onto the tape and look at how excited you got. It was really, really neat. And Josh, man, you win the star of the game for me, because introducing an actual Sarlacc into the Sarlacc Club was awesome.
So good.
And star to whoever drew that picture.
Yes, thank you for that picture. I need to actually move that in somewhere. I need to save that. I've got to go back and chat because I actually closed that tab. I got to hurry. Sweet. All right. Sarlacc. Awesome. Thank you, Cisco. Josh, do you have any stars that weren't taken up?
Yeah. Stars. I really enjoyed today's session. I really liked the ship that we came across. It was just like a very like fun, tense moment. And I, you know, very like, what a cool sci-fi thing to come across, you know, a Hulk and be like, oh, we're gonna scrap this, and then it powers up and it turns on you. I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed today's session a lot. I look forward to next week.
Awesome. Thank you, Josh. Alan, any stars?
Yeah, a lot of mine revolve around the space encounter, because I think everyone got to do something cool. You know, Talan got to get us out of there, Inez got to shoot the guns, Bendy has to fix stuff before we can do X, Y, and Z. No, I really enjoyed that. And I thought the setup was good. And I enjoyed the idea of these droids, you know, kind of just coming up the tether. Because that was much cooler than us being just drawn into the Hulk. That was really good. And I enjoyed Jorga the Hutt. You know,
thank you for that, Will.
You know,
Star
everyone who interacted with Jorga the Hutt or had anything to do with Jorga the Hutt gets a star from me. Oh, and the idea of Bendy bribing the Imperial is just so far over there.
That was fun. Sweet. Last but not least, Will, did you have any stars?
The space thing, we got exactly what we wished for. We had an interesting space encounter. I loved it. We even had rooms and things targeted, and I feel like, again, you know, the FTL side of this game is a really interesting game. I almost would love to see that game rather than what I think the two halves mashed together create. But yeah, it was fun to do. And I really like the city. Have you used it? I'm imagining you may have used this for Neon City or Neon Overdrive.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be using it for my CBR plus PNK game.
Yes.
Coming up soon.
But it's great. And I love I think it's perfect that you reuse like different areas and different NPCs and stuff, because it really does make it feel like you're stepping into another part of the Star Wars universe. The Sarlacc, of course, is now like makes this an incredible part of the Star Wars universe. God. I'm so happy with the Sarlacc. And you know, the overall, my major one though is the fact that we chilled our chains a bit. Like
that was nice to see that.
And I think with a 4-person crew, you know, as we saw when we all chose to loosen a chain, I think maybe it is intended for like a 6-person game or something, really, right? Like, because I feel like once you've gone past a certain point, it doesn't overlap quite so much, you know, like, and you also don't, like, at the moment, I'm really good friends with everybody, you know, and that's great to be really good friends with everybody. And not everybody's really good friends with everybody else, but like on a larger crew, it can get spaced out a bit more. With a 4-person crew, it feels maybe which is kind of very accurate to being all on top of each other, right? But I enjoyed the fact that we're no longer in this position of, you know, complete distrust and whatever, and like, why the hell are we a crew, even, frankly, because we don't have any bonding moments. Whereas now we've come to a point of we do have bonding moments. It's good. We nearly died. We've come together.
Yeah, I am really appreciative of that choice. I think it helped to flip the tone. And now what's great is it's the perfect setup for all the intensity of what's going on right now, which is going to be a pressure cooker in this last session. And there's going to be like a chase sequence. There may be a random Sarlacc attack. It's crazy. So you guys working well together at the outset is a real good setup. I really enjoyed this session. You guys surprised and delighted me with a bunch of things, from the Jorgo to the Sarlacc to all the bits in between. I will end our session sharing with you, as I looked for a picture of a female Gamorrean, the beautiful AI that is Google shared this with me, and this is what I give you guys as a parting gift. That picture exists in the world. And I just want to, not only is that Miss Piggy, that's Miss Piggy in her Pigs in Space outfit. So that's pretty much perfect.
That's amazing.
All right, I'll bring this game's recording to a close. Thank you all for playing.